Good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster! Everybody's a suspect! Hey, Ted, where the hell's Corkscrew? Don't fuck with the Chuck!
Halloween 6. Let's get into it. Starting off the bat, came out in 1995. Tarantino was supposed to write this movie, and Scott Spiegel was supposed to direct it. But imagine, I mean, this movie sucks. They call it a curse because there's a shit ton of, like, just a cursed production. They wrote, I don't know how many fucking different endings. They had 2 different people playing Michael. One of them being George P. Wilbur, and that's like the first half of the movie because he's got like a little gut on him. And then at the end, it's, I don't know who, but he walks like this. The only reason why this movie gets a pass is because another childhood movie, it was a guilty pleasure. They always played like the Cult of Thorn trilogy on Fright Fest. It was mainly 4 and 5, but every once in a while I'd see this on there. Yeah, this movie fucking sucks. The characters are garbage. Paul Rudd's debuts in this movie. Fun fact, it says Paul Stephen Rudd. I don't know why. And then they named Jamie Lloyd, she has a baby in this one, played by a different actress. They didn't want to bring Danielle Harris back for God knows what reason. If they did, it'd probably be a little bit better. Jamie Lloyd's character in this is in there for maybe 5 minutes. It's just the opening. She gives birth in some like weird industrial underground building, and they take her baby. Some nurse gives it back to her, tells her to run, and then all of a sudden Michael starts chasing her. But I mean, Michael in this movie, probably the most brutal up until like that point. A lot of sick deaths in this movie, either the producer's cut or the regular, but there's a lot of solid fucking deaths, I'd say. That's a pass. Paul Rudd's performance, stiff as a fucking board. The way he talks is always like this. He doesn't blink. Why? I don't know. But that's the route he took. Like Jamie Lloyd, she ends up going to some fucking train station and leaving the baby like under the sink or in a hamper or some shit. Michael starts chasing her. He's driving a van in this one, but he ends up chasing her and like making her run off the road into a barn. The way he kills her in that barn is once again pretty brutal. I'd say a good amount of like blood in this movie, but you finally get to see who the man in black is. It's Dr. Wynn, who is just kind of blah. Dr. Wynn's character is pretty fucking lame. To me, it really serves no point. We get like somewhat of an explanation about the wrist tattoo, and it's supposed to be like a ruin or some shit, or druid ruin or something. I don't fucking know. It's got something to do with Stonehenge, and yeah. As you can tell, this movie is not good, but to me, I give it a couple passes because it's like a guilty pleasure childhood movie. Like Michael's getting his ass whooped by Paul Rudd in this. He gets like fucking 10 tranquilizers like in the chest, in the back. Paul Rudd takes a pipe and starts beating him and for like 5 minutes, and like green blood or green blobs of ooze is coming out of his face. I don't fucking know. This movie sucks. It's not good. I don't know. A couple of the characters I liked. Deb, the mom, she just had like this warmth to her. You know, she looks like a fucking mom too, like a 90s mom. This movie just screams 90s. Flannels everywhere.
I think it's cool.
Just the style is really like nostalgia for me because like I said, I grew up watching this. But sadly, this was Donald Pleasance's last movie. He died. Rest in peace. Yeah, the Cult of Thorn trilogy, to me, just didn't serve a purpose. Each one is so fucking messy. As much as I love 4, it still has its problems. Part 5 especially. But this one, holy shit. 2.5 pumpkins. But the VHS rewind is the dickhead Laurie Strode's brother, or uncle, brother? I don't know. This guy is just a fucking prick from start to finish. He's just so nasty. He's just such a hateful character, and his death is the fucking sickest thing. So the VHS rewind is his death. For a split second, you do get to see Michael Myers. He kind of like jogs, and it's when they're running in the tunnel. Apparently the guy running in the tunnel is George P. Wilbur. There's a kind of a cool but very unnecessary massacre at the hospital. Michael walks in with this big ass like surgical machete and just starts obliterating these people. But there's just so much flashy lights, it's like a strobe effect, and once again it just gets messy. But I don't know, it was just cool because they're just meat bags. Serve no purpose. The ending to this though, probably one of the funniest. Dr. Loomis like shits his pants again when the cult of the Thorn, it gets transferred to him and he looks at it and just starts screaming and screaming and screaming, and it's fucking funny. It's like just like the end of part 4, but this one is amped up to a whole nother level. You know, everyone thought he died, but he's
very much retired.
I do wish we would have got to see him in Halloween H2O, which I'm going to cover next, and that's a personal favorite of mine. That's a real guilty pleasure, but just hear me out next week when I talk about it. Give me a like, subscribe, and until then, see you later.